You'd be hard pressed to find an interview where I didn't come across like I was flirting. Like, you know, if I'm considered like this pinup girl, which I literally was.
Can you then see how back then, in the height of your era, people may not have seen you the way you thought you were being seen, given what you just said?
Oh, he set up.
And the fact that you all
I'm not trying to eat. I'm trying to get.
I was gonna make a video about this because the aspect of, I don't think that Melyssa Ford sees herself how the world sees Melyssa Ford, and I think that that's the case with a lot of women. As far as like how men view you when you're outside compared to how you view yourself, and you speak on aspects of, I'm gonna just say it, you talk about things like the bear and the man, and you put yourself in, case in point, I'll just say this. I say you put yourself in those specific situations because this, when you're with a man, it's not just his responsibility to protect you, right? It's not just that. It's also your responsibility as the woman to understand, I can't do these type of things. I can't talk to these type of people. I shouldn't be doing this because I know that I have taken on the mantle of, I'm with this man and I don't want him to be harmed for something that I might do. The same vice versa. Because we always thinking about, okay, how can we make sure that this woman is protected as bias? This is why when you talk about marriage being a form of sex work, and the lowest paid form of sex work at that, I think you said, it's kind of like a slap in black men's faces when we say that we want to protect you, and you say that no, I don't need to be protected. I don't need to be protected. We know that you don't need to be protected, but when you do or say have these type of sentiments, like Mark Lamont Hill, I don't agree with everything that Mark Lamont Hill says. I think that to the stop's point, I think that he is a Trojan horse in that motherfucker. In that environment, I think that Mark Lamont Hill doesn't understand academic niggas, like niggas that's in academia spaces. They can be detrimentally lethal in spaces when it comes to, because he's spoken on things like reparations and shit like that. But when it comes to like shit like this, because of his views that he had against Tory, like mind you, he has some sentiments against Tory that I'm not saying that he can't be against Tory, but the way that he went about it, it was kind of like, it was personal for some reason, and it wasn't kind of like, okay, I have this story and I talk about, and mind you, it's the Abba and Preach shit. Because Abba did the same thing. Not Preach, but Abba specifically. Because Preach was like, I don't fucking know. Even with all of the evidence, everything that was shown, I don't know. Because we know how America has been run. Not Abba, but Mark Lamont Hill has been a nigga that basically talks about how the injustice with black men specifically in the justice system. But when it came down to that Megan Thee Stallion case, oh, well, the judge said that he should be in jail, so he should be in jail. No, oh, well, it's not about the fact that Meg got shot anymore. It's about the fact that it was a gun that wasn't his, so he should be in jail. It's like the flippancy, the double speak. That's why I don't fuck with Mark Lamont Hill. He is a Trojan horse to me. Now, when we speak on this, it's kind of like the flippancy again, because now he's talking about how Melyssa Ford should check her persona about how she shows up in the world when you didn't give a fuck about Megan Thee Stallion's persona. It's weird, bruh. It's fucking weird, because it's like, just, that's why I believe that he's a Trojan horse, because it's kind of like, now you want to be conservative when it comes to Melyssa Ford's takes on how she shows up. No, keep it all the way around. If she says some crazy shit, okay, she was young, remember? Yeah, she was young. Keep that in your bag, Mark Lamont. I digress.
It's some fucking tag team shit. It's fucking stupid, because
I agree.
I
don't get it twisted. I don't agree with Melyssa Ford. I got a video that's an hour plus long talking about how she's fucking crazy for comparing marriage to sex work. She's fucking crazy. I get what she was trying to shoot, but that shit is an airball, my nigga. That shit is a fucking airball, because you're comparing slavery you're comparing slavery to marriage. You're comparing marriage as slavery, slave work. And she's the same woman that I would believe that would compare parenthood as a job, because parenthood is hard. It is. It is hard as fuck. But when you have a fucking child, that's just something that you got to do. At that point, it's a duty. It's something that you got to do. It's not right. And you can be like that nigga that said, I'm going to just go ahead and pay this judge and tell him, listen, here's my 12 to 10 million. Get that child out of my fucking face. I don't fucking want to own that child at all. It's no longer his responsibility. But that's just the days and times that we living in. You understand what I mean? This is the modern age. But a woman like Melyssa Ford would be like, that's horrible. You know what I mean? Why would you do that? I agree with them. I would agree with him. And I also understand her sentiments of why would you do that, right? But I would agree with him. In this new day and age, because of the way the women are moving, I don't know his situation, but I got a feeling that he was basically tricked in that situation. I'm not going to say fully tricked, because he knew what the fuck he was busting in. You know, he knew what he was busting in. But I really do believe that he had the conversation of, I don't want no children. He told her, and she still had the children. She still had the child. It's like it's a responsibility on both of them. There's a responsibility on both of them. Her having a child and him not wanting to have a child but still busting in her. You know what I mean? And I get it. That pussy be bust. That pussy be good sometimes. It be the worst one sometimes. That be like the pussy be fucking crazy. I digress. It's going crazy because that has nothing to do with this. But I understand. It's not right on some Chris Rock shit, but I understand. You feel me? On some Chris Rock, OJ Simpson type shit. It's not right, but I understand. You feel me? But the main thing is that Mark Lamont Hill does give me Trojan horse vibes. He does give me flippancy vibes, because he's being flippant with her when it comes to his views on women and their persona, in his words.
Did I say that people regarded me as motherfucking Mother Teresa? No. Flirtation doesn't mean that you're a fucking whore.
No. I'm talking persona. I'm talking about, not you. You, like you said, there was a persona that people thought was you, and that's the thing we were trying to say to you, is that there's a way people saw you that might be different.
I got it. I see where we're at. I see it.
On a recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Mark Lamont exposed Melyssa Ford's hypocrisy. You know, the way she likes to present versus what actually is. So in the clip that I resurfaced about her shooting her shot at Steve Harvey, she looked very flirtatious, and they played it on the podcast.
Well, I'm single now, but she is
Steve, if you had to rate her, Steve, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would we? Can she come on your show and just do like a bit part for you?
She could move in my house, actually. But
that was a ball. It's an alley-oop.
Are you really?
I am.
You can only get this on TV.
I'm moving to LA.
You guys.
Yeah. I think I'm up for the challenge.
I'm up for the challenge.
And Melyssa
persona. This is her persona. And then, mind you, she also talks about, in this same video, speaks on the aspect that she talks about, the aspect of, she says that Superhead, mind you, this is like a little side note, Superhead wasn't super. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I'm gonna be that nigga that down that hill. Superhead's head was trash. It was mid. It was boo-boo. Okay? All them niggas that called her Superhead, they literally inflated her head so much. She was a pretty girl. She was pretty. But it was trash. The motherfucking shit you see nowadays, boy, that shit was dash. Okay? Oh my God. I'm having fucking flashbacks of the shit that I seen, boy. But the shit that I've experienced, Lord Jesus, like, all I'm saying is her head was not super. In fact, it was not super. But she says that Superhead, when she came out with that book, she's basically blaming the music industry, the video Vixen industry, all on Superhead's book. Superhead talked about how she was close with Bobby Brown, and she was fucking with Lil Wayne, and I think she talked about Cameron and all the rappers, right? But she says that it fucked up the industry for video vixens when she did it. And I'm like, but you also say, because this is why I fuck with this video, you also say in this video, not in this video, but in the video that he brings up, that she did not fuck with rappers. She didn't fuck with rappers. She fucked with execs. she alliance with execs. You know what I mean? It wasn't sex. It was a alliance. That's what she says.
Melyssa Ford, in defense of how she was acting, said she was playing a character. Now, that was interesting, as it is counter to what she was saying in terms of the Superhead book. You know, she was saying that before the Superhead book, people didn't really see video vixens in the way that they do now.
There was a general respect level that once that fucking book came out, it changed. I'm just telling you from living the experience from the inside out. I don't really, they started to believe the rumors of.
And she's talking about, this is why I say that. She's talking about living the experience inside out. Living the experience inside out when you only dated execs, Melyssa Ford. How do you live the experience inside out? This is not your experience if you only dated execs. You know what I mean? You didn't really fuck with rappers. This is what she says.
And video, all we do is get cracked on these video sets.
She don't know that because she.
This type of character that she played was probably just as instrumental in developing the stereotype of the video vixen as Superhead's book. And Mark Lamont directly exposes that. But it's a lot of issues because the whole cast started laughing at Melyssa Ford when Mark Lamont went off, and they were laughing at Melyssa Ford even before that when she started to say that this was her character. But I would question, is this really her character, or did the character she create gain basis from who she actually was? See that clip? Now, I know people are going to say, Danny, this is Andrew Tate type stuff. Nah, it's really not.
You're just listening to what she says.
Observing the situation.
Exactly. Listening to what they say. That's it.
Just, playing a character. But was it really necessary? I don't even think the cameras necessarily were supposed to air that. She was playing a character for the advancement of her career, which is different than playing a character in terms of being on the podcast or being on a TV show or doing some type of skit. That was Melyssa Ford. Yeah. That was completely her. And at least with Superhead, you can kind of gauge that
was her.
She was being herself.
She was the
Melyssa Ford wasn't being.
The thing that I respect with Superhead is that she understood that that's what she was. That's all she was, as it is what it is. And the niggas that tried to the niggas that actually Bobby Brown, having her inside his house the way he did and being comfortable enough. I remember a video of Superhead literally videotaping Bobby Brown on his couch sleeping, and she's literally looking at him look at this nigga. Look at this fucking nigga. Look at this nigga. Look how he fucking looks. You know what I mean? He got that comfortable with her. You know what I mean? Knowing that she wasn't shit. You know what I mean? And it's dangerous, my niggas. I get it. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you be thinking that she's actually a sweet girl. Those sometimes be the most dangerous ones, bruh. Those sometimes be the most dangerous ones. You see how sweet Melyssa Ford looked when she was in front of Steve Harvey. I'm just saying, my nigga. I'm just fucking saying. And she talk about what she talk about when it comes to marriage.
She revealed that with this line of thinking. And you can kind of see other things that happen here. Parks makes a joke about how Melyssa Ford says it was the book that changed everything, not necessarily her actions.
It was the book.
And you see Melyssa Ford wasn't feeling that, and she starts to get in her, oh, is this what we're doing today? This is messed up. How could you guys do this? Still, even if you disagree with me, I'm just trying to show you what is really going on behind the scenes whenever Melyssa Ford speaks. For example, let's look at this clip of Melyssa Ford talking about how she navigated a toxic male industry. This was around the time when Diddy was exposed for how he was treating Cassie, and the video came out. And Melyssa Ford says something that's very telling to me. She tries to skirt around her, navigating the industry and say that she didn't really deal with the misogyny in the same way that other women did because she was able to stay off limits to the rappers.
I had to figure out how to navigate those treacherous waters. And the way that I figured out
this is by her own admission. She didn't fuck with the rappers.
Navigate them was.
So how you know? How is this your lived experience as a video vixen?
The people in power. They're artists.
How was this your experience as a video vixen when you didn't really fuck with the rappers? You probably was getting okayed in the video by the execs. By your admission, you said this.
Didn't have the power. So I aligned myself with direct.
And you don't realize how she sounds when she says this. She doesn't realize that shit. 2 men, how she sounds when she says this. She thinks that this is boss bitch moves, boss girls, you know what I mean? Boss babes, boss babes, not boss bitches, but boss babes, okay? All the women that be talking about some bitches not in term of endearment, I got you. Boss babes. I'm wrong. I'm wrong, boss babes.
I had to figure out how to navigate those treacherous waters. And the way that I figured out how to navigate them was I aligned myself with the people in power. The artists didn't have the power. So,
and mind you, yes, this sounds right in a sense of, yes, you should align yourself and try to figure out how to get close in contact with the people in power. It just sounds crazy coming from a video vixen, because you aligning yourself with the people in power and how she feels about the people in power, about how misogynistic, how horrible and sexual, and like, I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm saying that this is the bed that you have to understand that you're going to lay in. You could say how it should be fixed, and we want it fixed. I get it. The world should be fixed. But when you put yourself in these environments, you have to acknowledge the fact that there are going to be wolves. They're going to be wolves. They not, with the Diddy case, we realized that they not just fucking women, they fucking men too. In both ways. You know, financially and physically. You know what I mean? And mentally. You know what I mean? So it's like, she doesn't understand how
I align myself with director, producer.
Yeah.
You know,
they talk about.
And so I kind of made myself untouchable.
Y'all run around the artists, huh? Directors and up. Hello.
I mean, not
fucking.
I said aligned.
Not fucking. Aligned.
Aligned.
I'll be aligning.
Alliances.
Line it up.
Yes.
We're powerful.
And she would
We're powerful, folks. Alliances.
only attach herself to the execs. Now, the rest of the cast laughs at her. I mean, you can see it.
Because mind you, she said she would only attach herself to the execs, but she talks about how she's in the industry of video vixen. You could be in the industry. You could be a nigga, but not be in the hood. You understand what I mean? Like, it's the same type of logic. You know what I mean? Yes, you understand black life because you are black. But you don't understand black life when it comes to financial, when you're in an academic and you making this amount of money. Like when you making Joe Budden money, I can understand why he says you niggas is peasants. You know what I mean? I understand that aspect. It's not right, but he doesn't understand black hood life. He could be empathetic from time to time, but he don't fuck with niggas. You know what I mean? Like, and that's rightfully so, because niggas have been on his head. But Joe Budden, you gotta admit the fact that you be saying some wild shit. I remember when Wu-Tang was on your head, when you was saying some wild, disrespectful shit, and they came and checked your ass. And then a couple of times where he said that niggas was literally trying to kill this nigga. He was trying to kill him. You know what I mean? But it's because of his mouth. We know how Joe Budden be fucking talking crazy. Even he got to check himself and be like, I'm not going to talk about this subject because I know niggas that know niggas, and I don't want to be having getting that call. You understand what I mean?
Ish just think like, oh my God, is this really what she believes? And even Joe placates her by saying, oh, Melyssa Ford was always smart. No, what he was really saying in that moment is, Melyssa Ford, you dumb as hell. You really.
I'm not gonna let y'all listen to the rest of that, man. Listen, all I'm saying is when it comes to Lamont Hill, I do believe, like he says in this video, that he's like a Trojan horse, because it's like the academia aspect of, yes, it's good to have a man that's academic and understands black life, or so-called understands black life, but it can be like a Trojan horse experiment, because it's like it can bite you. You know what I mean? It can come back and bite you when it comes to situations like this. And Meg Thee Stallion, And it's okay to have different views on shit. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have his own view on these type of topics. It's just that these views are more so in line with his politics rather than in line with, and if that's your politics, bro, that's your politics. That's cool. Political identity is a good thing. It's good to have a political education. I just think that when political education sides with extreme liberal views on certain things, and I say that because of the whole, like, I'm gonna just go back to it, like the whole Tory Lanez situation, on how you understand how the justice system fucks black men, specifically black people, and specifically black men, and then you go into detail about how, oh well, if the judge said that he's in jail, then that's what the judge says, so we have to go by what the judge says, as if you don't also double speak on what judge says, what some judges in this country says, and they put niggas in jail. You know what I mean? We have the fucking Innocence Project, and they put niggas in jail when they should not be in jail, when they are literally innocent. And because the judge doesn't want to go over the case again, they're gonna try their damnness to make sure that this nigga stays in jail for the longest. Or they'll try their damnness to get the top judges of that state to basically defend why the judge made their decision. Because be clear, even if the judge gets the wrong sentence, give them the wrong sentence, he doesn't get any type of pushback. He doesn't get any type of demotion. It was just a human error. It was just a clerical mistake. But mind you, that clerical mistake cost some black men that were proven innocent, it cost them 10 to 20 years of their life, sometimes 40 years of their life. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. But, you know, that's Mark Lamont Hill, and that's why I believe he is a fucking Trojan horse on certain situations. But I'm going to put the video in the description. That's it, man. Y'all be good. Bun K.